Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on Mobilizing Field Service, 5 key components that ensure field service success. We'll wait a minute or two more to see if other attendees are joining, and then we'll begin. Good evening everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on Mobilizing Field Service, 5 key components that ensure field service success. My name is Nandita and I'm your moderator for today. As part of the panel of speakers today, we have Manan Thakkar, who is the Solutions Architect with Indusa. Manan spearheads Indusa's strategic initiatives in the enterprise mobility space to maximize customer benefits. His expertise is in enterprise consulting and solution design globally, and he plays a key role in institutionalizing mobility to position Indusa's service in leading enterprises. Manan has vast experience in implementing large-scale projects for reputed financial institutions and manufacturing organizations. We also have Harish Shenoy from IBM today, who will introduce IBM MobileFirst, a cross-platform mobile solution. Harish is an IBM certified mobile application developer for MobileFirst, which is an extension of Worklight. His role involves providing technical architecture and solutions for mobile application infrastructure for various customers. His expertise includes IBM Worklight, WebSphere Application Server, WebSphere Process Server, WebSphere Message Broker. Indusa is a firm based in Chicago with a development center in India and a sales office in UK. We assist organizations across the globe to grow and evolve through world-class services. Since most of you have registered for the webinar are here today, we'll start with the presentation. I'll now hand over the webcast to Manan, who will take you through the presentation. You can also follow the conversation online via Twitter at Indusa IT Sol, as mentioned on the screen. Feel free to post any questions at any time during the webinar in the question and answer box, and we will take them up at the end of the session. Over to you, Manan.
Thanks, Nandita. Good afternoon, everybody. So as you can see in our agenda, in next 45 minutes or so, we will uncover the field service mobility. We are going to walk you through the need for field service and the role of field service across different industry and functions of the organization. We will then talk about the core topic of the presentation, which is the 5 key components of field service. There we will cover what challenges organizations like yours are facing and how each key component is critical to resolve those challenges. Followed by that, 2 real-time business cases. After that, we are going to demonstrate the field service mobile solution, which is the M Field Service developed by Indusa. Followed by that, some discussion on the impact of the field service on business and ROI calculation along with the future of field service. And in the end, Harish will talk about IBM's MobileFirst platform on which the comprehensive field service solutions that has been built. This presentation will be concluded with a live Q&A session. I hope by the end of this webinar, you'll understand how these 5 components benefit an organization and from the foundation to the field service success. Let's move on to the next slide. So we will first try to understand why field service. So to begin with that, we will try to answer this question first, that why field service is important and how it is impacting overall organization functions. So first we will see what all different industry where the field service is spearing through. So the first is manufacturing industry, where we are talking about different machineries, commercial and industrial equipments. The next is the home appliances, like refrigerator, washing machines and air condition, where the servicing or the warranty, maintenance, repairing kind of things are required. Then we talk about the medical equipments and the utility service provider and diagnosis. Then we talk about automobile and automotive manufacturers, petroleum and chemical industries. And this is just a few industries to name to. There are a lot more other industries where the field service is really key to them. Now in this next slide, we will discuss about what is the importance of field service in all the key departments across the organization. Unlike your sales representative, your service representative is viewed as a trusted advisor to the customer and is the best source of cross-sell and expansion opportunities. For all leading organizations, service revenue is high margin revenue and is a key to company's growth. For the operations department, an insight to the field service ensures optimal inventory levels. Field service analytics are a must-have source of product quality information and the product design to the design department who is designing the products, keeping the serviceability of that product in mind. Good field service analytics provides an incredible source of data for technicians' performance evaluation, and that helps the HR department to evaluate and also reward them based on their efforts. Also, your field service technicians act as a face of your brand, thus helping your marketing team with a brand identity and recall. Let's jump on to the next slide. This is the key component. Basically, the core of this webinar, the main crux of this webinar is we are going to discuss about what are those 5 key components. So now I unlist this. The first one here is the automated and streamlined process. The next one is service on the go. Bring your own device. Security, which is one of the key component. And the last is backend integration with enterprise solutions. Automated and streamlined processes for work orders, scheduling and administration along with decision making, that is quite useful. Service on the go, which will allow the field technician to offer services in real time. Bring your own device, that will ensure that the application should have a cross-platform ability. So we have got this IBM Worklight or IBM MobileFirst platform which will help us to build such application. Security, which is one of the key concerns for any organization, because leaving the organization data exposed over internet, that will create a lot of room for any kind of intruders coming into system. And the last is a backend integration with enterprise solutions like ERP or CRM or even SharePoint like solutions, which provides a real-time information to the company. Moving on to the next one, let's get into detail of what is the automated and streamlined processes and how this key component is really crucial for any kind of a field service organization. A field technician faces a various challenges like entering information after the call manually, taking a lot of time in transcription of work orders and delays in invoice generation and processing due to the time-consuming mechanical work that a person has to go through. With a comprehensive field service solution that automates and streamlines the processes, the technician does not have to work manually anymore. All these processes are automated and He can have a real-time view into work order status, which will help in improving the overall performance, decision-making power, and thus nullifying any chance of a human error. So you can see here a lot of challenges a person has to face if the processes are not streamlined. Now, according to Gartner, even in the simplest of the field service operation, automation can yield efficiency gains, lower the processing costs, decrease the billing cycle, and improve the customer satisfaction. Now, with a comprehensive field service solution that automates and streamlines the process, the technician does not have to work manually anymore. All processes are automated and he can have a real-time view into work order status, which helps in improving the overall performance, decision-making power, and thus nullifying any chances of a human error. Service on the go. Your field technician may not have access to company's information on the go, may need to carry paper-based manuals to customer locations and find it difficult in locating a customer. At the end, you face a delayed service processes and unhappy customers. With an intuitive field service solution, service technician can have a real-time visibility into work status, communicate with employees on the go, locate customers easily, and thus minimize the repeat visits and help reducing the overall cost to the company in form of an expense. Let's move to the third component, which is a bring your own device. You must be hearing this term a lot in these days. Bring your own device. Now, what does it do exactly? It encourages all the organization to basically all the organization encourage employees to bring their own devices, which will enforce companies to have a cross-platform mobile app, which should run on any kind of mobile platform. I will discuss about those three famous platforms these days: iOS, Android, and Windows. So a company who is willing to offer BYOD should have their app built on these three platforms. The significance is of highest priority today, considering the difficulty of field technician face, including the inability to use different mobile devices and dependency on companies' mobile devices, a sudden crash during a call, unavailability of device on time leading to a delayed service response, and all these problems will impact the overall service and the image of the company. And we definitely, being a service organization, would not want these kind of blunders happening in front of a customer. So field service solution built on a cross-platform solution like IBM Worklight can help your technicians with improved service operations by allowing them to carry any mobile device, making them device independent, and thus eliminating the cost of having multiple devices for the same mobile app. At an organization level, you can control the look and feel of the app, manage security, perform schedule upgrades, thus managing the mobile app centrally. Now, all this feature that we are talking here will be provided by a mobile platform that we have said earlier, which is IBM MobileFirst. Security. Now, as I said earlier, security is again very crucial component for any organization, leaving all the enterprise data exposed over internet. Here, the key and a very aptly said thing is security. Now, the security across organization, irrespective of size or industry, is quite crucial. Common security challenges include access to company's data by unauthorized personnel, data shared within or outside the company boundaries, damaged or lost mobile device, negative intention of employees while exiting the organization. So all this factor needs to be considered while you going for any kind of a mobility implementation. So how organizations can overcome these challenges? First, by having the security policies in place, like role-defined user access to company data, use of a central database for saving data to avoid loss of data, approval process with data validation, and centralized control of apps through mobile device management. The next is the backend integration with enterprise solution. This is the fifth and the most significant component. Now, integration capability of a solution with enterprise solutions like ERP, CRM, SharePoint, and many other systems to access companies' data in real time. Field technicians usually face glitches in accessing company data while traveling, cannot view the customer services history in the past, and find it relatively time-consuming process due to insufficient information availability. With a field service solution in place, your technician can quickly access company data, collaborate with other employees easily, and thus increase the performance with the sufficient information on hand. Now, collaboration and enhanced user experience, that is something we are giving by doing the seamless integration with any of the enterprise app that a company has, and this will ensure a success of any implementation of a mobility in any organization, because any company who is willing to spend on mobility should know that there are a lot of pros and cons to it, and when you are investing into mobile infrastructure, you would also want that your overall implementation should be adopted by all the employees within the organization. Hence, these 5 components has to be addressed aptly so that you will end up with a successful implementation of mobility. Now, let's start a poll just to understand what do you think after this conversation, what is a key component for your organization. We have this quick poll here where we would like to submit your views on which component you think is the most valuable. Is it automated and streamlined process, services on the go, BYOD, security, or backend integration with enterprise solutions? Okay, so we can see that 30% of people feel that the backend integration as well as the service on the go, which is quite crucial for their organization, followed by security and authentication with 20%, and automated and streamlined processes along with BYOD as 10%. So pretty much everyone agrees that all these 5 components are some or the other way quite crucial for any kind of a field service mobility implementation. Let's move on to our next slide. We will discuss about few business cases that we have based on our experience that we have implemented enterprise mobility field service for different organizations. Over next few slides, I will just go through few business cases to help you understand how companies have gained advantage by implementing the field service solutions within their organization. So in this example, we'll just try to show how the field service solution actually works. See, in this picture, you can see that this lady is trying to get the elevator down on the ground floor, and she suddenly noticed that the lift has broken down in the middle and leaves them stranded outside. She places a call to the elevator manufacturer's customer service department, who notes down that the detail of the service request in their system and sends an emergency notification on the mobile device of a field service engineer. Once the service engineer gets this notification, the technician checks the priority of the task, opens it, and looks at the service order details. He then views the customer location on the map and travels to her place. Once he reaches there, he notes down the problem, diagnosis, and the actions to be taken. and changes the status to in progress. Now once he changes the status, the supervisor or the customer service executive sitting back in the office will know that the person has reached there and he is there to service the problem. He will also notify the affected customer that our company has now looked into this and we are taking action and the problem will be resolved shortly. After the problem is solved, he adds another detail such as what are the parts utilized to fix the problem, what are different activities he needs to perform. He then clicks the picture of what was the affected part or what was the situation over there, how the things got damaged and how he repaired the overall things. And once this is done, he generates the quotation of the overall chargeable service as well as parts in real time, gets it digitally signed and generates the invoice for the chargeable parts and services. He then submits the quotation and the parts that needs to be ordered, because sometimes what happens, your service technician may not have all the parts that are required at the time when he is visiting a customer. So he may have to place certain orders to get those parts delivered to customer and then he may be able to fix it. So ordering the parts into your ERP system will be handled straight away from here. You can also have access to inventory system. So we'll show you the demonstration of this app that I'm talking right now in a few minutes time once we get to the actual demonstration section. The next business case is quite interesting here. We will talk about the plant maintenance. What we talked earlier is a company where they have a product and in case of any emergency or annual maintenance, the company executive visits to the customer for fixing it. But now we are talking about a company's internal service department who will ensure that any kind of issues or all the machineries within the company is being adequately serviced and any kind of breakdown is addressed on time. Now plant downtime, all the companies who are having manufacturing unit will know that the plant downtime are some of the worst thing that could happen to a huge manufacturing plant. Scheduled and predictive maintenance thus becomes critical to their operations. Let me take another business case on how the field service solution can help in plant maintenance of a large manufacturing firm. In a service department of a plant, there is a supervisor who manages different teams like maintenance and breakdown. He needs to make sure that each equipment is under his periphery is working perfectly fine. Now one day he receives a notification saying that the service of a machine part is due. Now take an example. What I'm talking here is a large manufacturing company. Let's talk an example of a car manufacturing company, and they have an assembly line which is due for a servicing. So the internal maintenance department gets a notification within their system. So here the backend service management system is also quite crucial. Though we are not talking here about the backend system, but we have a system developed on a SharePoint which does the end-to-end solution of service and sales, after sales service of any kind of equipment. So once the call or notification is generated from this backend system, which will now indicate to the service in charge, who will then create a task for the service technician who will then visit this assembly line, do the service repairing and annual maintenance of that particular line of machines. This will ensure that a technician is addressing all the complaints or any kind of issues that the machine department is facing at any point of time, and then he will fix this problem based on the predefined checklist or a list of tasks that a person has to perform. And once he finishes, he will take the signature of the supervisor of that department that will ensure the completion of the services. And then to finish that entire plant maintenance exercise, the executive is again using the same app that I'm talking here. So the same kind of application can be used for different kind of use cases. That what I'm trying to show here. And once the entire work is done, the service technician can walk back to the organization and start picking up a new work that he has. Let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah, Manan, can I interrupt you here? We have a very relevant question from Mr. Abhishek. If you could answer this right now.
Sure.
He says, what other functions in an organization can enterprise mobility be used for?
That's a very good question. Okay, so I think it's quite relevant in terms of what was discussing here. It's not just two use cases that this solution can be fit into. Sales, after sales service, customer relationship manager, which is a CRM, which deals with partially with sales also, reporting, leave requests and approvals, expenses and timesheets, employee directory, inspections and quality, logistics management, up to an extent BR reporting as well for the top management. So all this kind of different flavors that we can mold into to offer any solutions to any organization as far as the enterprise mobility is concerned.
Thank you, Manan. Please go on.
Thank you. Okay, so we will talk about Indusa as a company, because the solutions that we are talking here has been built by Indusa. Indusa is a company that maximizes the potential of organizations globally to grow and evolve through the world-class services, people, and technology. Indusa was founded in 1989, and since its inception, 80% of our client relationships have lasted for over 8 years. We work primarily in technology consulting space and provide a system integration and IT services. We are headquartered in Illinois, have a development center in Ahmedabad and offices in London and Pune. Indusa is a CMM Level 4 ISO 27001 quality and security certified company. We have extensive experience in delivering apps to a wide variety of industries, including discrete and process manufacturing, professional services, public sector, education, healthcare, and retail. Our key practice areas including enterprise mobility, ERP and CRM. We also have years of expertise in application integration, specializing in enterprise solutions integration with mobile apps. In enterprise mobility, we provide end-to-end solutions from consulting or development, integration, upgrade, along with maintenance. In addition to Microsoft, Oracle, and Samsung, Indusa is an IBM Global Business Partner and an IBM Value Plus authorized reseller. We also have received IBM application specific license for our M-Field Service solution. This is just a snapshot of our key clientele, where we have executed multiple projects over several years, including all different practices that are mentioned here, starting from ERP to mobility to custom development, or even up to an extent implementing a SharePoint. Now, the much awaited solution of Indusa's M-Field Service. We have talked about the need for field service, the key components. I will now demonstrate the Indusa's M-Field Service solution, and we will touch upon how the key components are embedded in the core mobile app. The solution is built for service engineers but caters to all other stakeholders in the after-sales service process, including the senior management, office branches, operations, and customers. The solution can be integrated with a backend system. This could be an ERP, CRM, or any other enterprise solutions that maintains this data in a database. M-Field Service is built on IBM's WorkLight platform, a cross-platform, and can hence be used by iOS, Android, and Windows smartphone and tablets alike. Okay, so I'm just switching to a simulator just to show the app. This is a real app that we are trying to show you. You can see that the different options available on this app. So this is a view of what technician can see. So in the previous example, we have shown that the elevator was broken down, and when the service engineer got a notification, this is the place where he get a notification in the task section. So now he can see that the elevator stops in between the floors. So this task has already been created for this engineer. So once you can get into this screen, you can see all the relevant customer information, what's the customer detail, where the problem has occurred, where do I have to visit, what's the preferred date and time to visit, what's the due date. So even the SLAs are kept in mind, what kind of warranty the customer has or the equipment has at this point, what's the validity of that warranty, is there any problems have been reported in past. So all this kind of information that a person can see on a single screen. Then we go to the diagnosis section, which is where the person has to do the diagnosis of the problem. He will also enter details of what kind of action that he has taken to fix the problem. Once that is done, we'll go to the next screen where you can see different kind of parts that have been utilized to fix this problem. You can add new parts if you want to just utilize. So you have entire list of entire inventory of all your parts. So this is quite useful feature because you can have access to your entire inventory on the go from your mobile device. So you can check before committing to any customer whether you will be able to provide the parts within the stipulated time or not. The bottom section of the screen shows that what's the time spent on different activity, what kind of work that has been done. You did repairing, which is charged as a different cost. You did some sort of designing work, that is also different cost. Installation is charged as a different rate. So all this information can be added here. The next one was we talked about that you can capture the photograph as well in terms of what problem has occurred. And once that detail is there, you can go to the next section where you can generate the quotation. Before generating a quotation, you can take a signature of the customer, and then you can see a ready quotation of all the details available here, including signature. So this pretty much covers the entire cycle from the problem reporting to the servicing of the problem. And once the exercise is done, you can take a signature from the customer. You can see the invoice here, that what activity has been done. You can see the diagnosis here. You can see the actions taken. So this is pretty much the report of the entire visit that a person has done at a customer end. Now, once this report is generated, you can send it across to the customer as well as to their organization in form of a PDM. You can generate an email straight away from the device itself. There are some also features that are available in this solution that we offer, that you can see the customer history, that what all problems have been reported by this customer in past, how this family of equipment has been performing over a period of time at the different installation. So that sort of detail is also available. Along with that, we have got some other features also. As I said, you can check the map. You can see the driving directions from one location to another. So from your current location, if you click on which customer you want to visit, it will show you the driving direction from and to, so that you can easily reach to customer. You need not have to remember all the location and addresses. We have a feature of creating a service order. Then and there itself, you may end up in a certain situation whereby you have to create a service order. So you don't want customer to call your service desk over a customer care helpline. You can rather create a service order directly in front of a customer in case any problem is reported. And some other features pertaining to CRM, where a person wants to submit some expenses that has incurred by traveling or food or any such kind of other activity that a person might have spent money on. Next is you can see the entire history of all the customers. You can see customer data, their contact information. And very crucial part is, because we are talking about all the high-end equipments that need servicing and fixing, so it is quite important to have the blueprint of the equipment available with you. So service technician can refer all this manuals or blueprints or diagrams or standard operating procedures along with any diagrams that is there, so that will help service technician to resolve any kind of problem that he faces while on the field. Now, this was pretty much the demonstration of our field service solution. Let's go back to what we were presenting earlier. So everybody has a question in mind that what's the return on investment, and if at this point of time, if we want to start implementing this field service solution, how it is going to impact our organization. So in next few slides, we will talk about the impact of field service solution on an organization and the key elements of ROI. We covered the key benefits, business functions that rely on the service department at the beginning of our presentation. This slide exhibits how each role is impacted by a mobile field service solution. In a product design, augmented reality is a topic that is being explored to conceptualize design and monitor production. For finance and manufacturing, functions typically impact areas are applications used to enhance visibility and aid real-time decision making. Field service solutions assist in asset tracking and inventory management. Field service solutions have a high impact on sales, marketing, and HR processes, as these have a direct impact on revenue, customer satisfaction, or employee productivity. For example, highly customized segments, a field engineer can be greatly aided by these mobile-enabled tools as he or she undertakes the repair process. In this cases, the product-specific data can be available on the mobile devices. The engineer can share defect photographs and specifications with an expert at another location and can resolve the issue faster without making multiple field visits. Mobile-enabled HR processes can result in employee self-service scenarios that are highly cost and time efficient. Employees can plan travel, apply for leaves, fill timesheets, send updates on the move, and get the instant approvals. Now let's focus on the factors that are actually impacting the ROI. So on this slide, you can see some internal as well as external factors that are impacting the ROI. The impact of field service solutions can be better determined by calculating the return on investment. A recent Gartner research report states that the ROI can be achieved in flat 9 months. Now respondents put technical efficiency and improved customer satisfaction as the most important factor for achieving the ROI, but you can also see that there are some other factors which are still very important for any organization while calculating their ROI. Next, we have this fold. The ROI calculation that I described in previous slides is unique to each company and will be calculated differently depending on the industry segment of the organization, size of the company, number of the field technician, number of tickets handled each day, and the type of this field service jobs. I've put together a quick poll here. So let us know whether you are interested in calculating the ROI for your organization. Okay, thanks for sharing your willingness whether you want to calculate the ROI or not. Now, before we move into the future of field service, I've got a couple of questions from Jyoti. So let me take the first question. Can it be implemented in pharma industry to the field representatives? Now, Jyoti, again, this is a really good question because, as I said earlier, the industries that I said earlier, those were just an example. This can very well be integrated with a pharma company, just to show you that we have got certain features. Sales representative, what they usually does is they will go in field with their brochures and details of different drugs and products. They will have a list of doctors that they have to visit, or chemists, or even to say certain hospitals. So in the task section that I've shown you earlier, just quickly go through. So I'll open up my app and then I'll just show you. So in the task section, a person can actually see list of places that he has to visit. The moment he opens up that, he will see entire detail of that particular doctor. In the history section, he can see that how the doctor has been so far, what kind of business that has been generated through that. Also, you can get the list of all the products that are available. So pretty much the same platform can be molded for the pharma representative as well. Another question from you, Jyoti, can it be one to hold the doctor data and related to the field rep? Yes, the answer is, again, as I mentioned earlier, we can definitely discuss with you how the same application can be molded further for the pharma sales representatives. Let's talk about the future of field service. In the final part of our presentation today, you can see how innovation in technology will facilitate the field service mobility in near future. How much data a field service organization collects through fleet and workforce management technology, and how it uses the data can set it apart from the competition. Companies that analyze and act on this data to optimize operations and service delivery often reach higher levels of customer satisfaction and increase profit. Use the power of data analytics to your advantage. Track, measure, and analyze the impact of mobility on your organization to be better define your unique business case. In recent study, Aberdeen Group found that best-in-class field service organizations that adopt analytics technology see their service profits increase by 18%, customer retention rates by 42%, and SLA performance by 44%. In other words, as companies strive to achieve or retain best-in-class status, it is imperative that they leverage analytics and their operations. Other trends in field service include augmented reality, wearable devices where your service workforce works hands-free while you give them the content and contextual tools they need to complete their jobs quickly, safely, and on the first visit itself. Cloud-based solutions enable companies to implement a mobile field service automation solution without significant capital investment. Internet of Things is the next big thing in technology. The IoT is connecting new places such as the manufacturing floors, energy grids, healthcare facilities, and transportation system to the internet. This connectivity means more data gathered from more places with more ways to increase efficiency and improve the safety and security. Over the last 3 years, Gartner has seen the adoption of mobile application from field service providers steadily increase to the point now where most new deals include mobile component. In its survey, 72% of respondents said that they were currently using or planning to use a mobile application from their field service provider. However, 31% of respondents reported using a paper-based or manual process. Now that's something is definitely going to change over a period of time, because as described earlier in this presentation, how the field service mobility is going to benefit to the organization. We have some recommendation for selecting a field service solution. Here are some recommendations for you when you begin the process of selecting a field service solution. Some of these recommendations might sound like intuitive, while others may overly simplistic, but I'm sure each one of these will help you select an efficient solution for your field service workforce. Let's now talk about IBM MobileFirst, a platform on which this field service solution has been built to. I will hand it over to Harish, who is a mobile solution architect with IBM. Harish, over to you.
Yeah, hi, thanks Manan. It was very informative. It was very good to understand the capability you used with MobileFirst platform. So, as you rightly said, IBM MobileFirst is a platform where mobile application can be built, and it gives all the platform features which are required for mobile application. I understand a lot of you agree today all the enterprises have no option to go mobile. So everyone wants to do something in mobile, and to start with they want to do some of the functionality they have to give access from mobile. So mobile application is the requirement of all enterprises. So when you say mobile application, what you see on device, it caters to only 30% of it. So what you see is only mobile application which is built using some technology, maybe cross-platform technology, maybe native technology. But underneath there is more than that. So about 70% what IBM has done survey across globe, over 70% of the thing has to be done through platform. What does come in the 70%? Maybe like how do you manage security? How do you manage user engagement? How do you manage development of application? How do you manage operation? Like how do you see the reports on how mobile applications are being used? So all these are catered to platform which is IBM MobileFirst. So mobile application can depend on MobileFirst platform to get all these features for their mobile application, and they can concentrate only on their business requirement, like whatever Indusa has done for field service application. What is required for field service people, that needs to be only concentrated. All the requirement of mobile application is catered to mobile platform. Moving to next slide. So what are the 5 biggest challenges? If I understand, when Manan did the poll, a lot of few people told that integrating backend is one of the key requirement of any enterprise. Because we all know backend integration has to be done for mobile application, because mobile applications are not new. You have same application maybe in web or maybe over internet which access your backend, but when you give the access, when you do the same functionality on mobile application, you need to give same backend integration to take place. That too securely, transaction wise, everything, and everything has to be secured over the internet. So MobileFirst platform addresses all those things. If you want to store data on the device when you are not connected, also you can store in an encrypted manner. But when you pass it to our client, you can pass it data over securely, encrypted in AES-256 kind of format. Okay. So it can secure entire mobile your platform or mobile application. Everything in the data, all the data in the mobile application can be secure. But it also supports continuous mobile application delivery, which using it you can map your ratings in your Play stores. So you can give a continuous good experience to your users following continuous delivery cycle. And also we understand that requirements of data or performance are unpredictable. You can get transaction at any pace or any time of the day, but we can manage all those with performance or unpredictable requirements of any scale. And this field service kind of application or any application, mobile application, one of the big thing is you can get the context data, like where he is going, how he is doing, which part of the city he is. All those base data you can get from mobile application using MobileFirst platform. Based on that, you can trigger the users or send some details. Suppose in a field service application, you feel that working in this part of Ahmedabad. So if you get another the same location, you can send one more notification one more service request nearby. You can finish that and come back. So those kind of things are managed to platform, and it gives a console to manage all your life cycle, manage mobile application complete life cycle. You can see how people are using applications are there, all those things. Moving on to next slide. So we people choose platform. As I said earlier, people can develop mobile application on platform. We call it a platform where you can use available open source component to develop your own application. But what we have done study in the industry based on mobile application development, different enterprises, the development cycle or development experience in the platform is more than what you can develop because the capability what it provides management of application and development you can develop mobile application MobileFirst. You go with open source components available, you have to spend more than that. So that is one thing that we have studied a lot and found that IBM MobileFirst extension of worklife will suit the requirement more than open source components. And existing skills can be reused. So there is no proprietary technology IBM wants to learn. IBM wants to learn to develop any open source technology, HTML, CSS can be reused in mobile application. Okay, it also complements IBM software, other IBM software. So if you have any other IBM software, it can integrate that. It supports open standards. Okay. And more than that, Gartner has named number one as Magic Quadrant of Modern Application Development. So moving to next slide, just to understand, it is not a new platform, market more than years, and these are just only few of the companies which are already using MobileFirst platform and seeing the benefit of it. So we have more customers on MobileFirst now as we speak over global. So these are like Calstate, Great, Tangerine, Fidelity. So these are only few of the customers. In India also we have many banks like IND Bank, HDFC Bank. Those are already their mobile application already in market, and many customers around are developing mobile apps on MobileFirst as we speak.
Thanks, Harish, for insight on the IBM MobileFirst platform.
Thank you, Manan and Harish. We are open now for question and answer session. So please feel free to add any questions you have in the box provided on your screen, and we'll try to cover as many of them as we can in the remaining part of the webinar today. In the meanwhile, Manan, we have a question from Harish. Where he says, many times a field person has worked in an area where the network connects is very weak. How will the app work in that situation?
Okay. Now, while developing the mobile application, we need to pay attention to certain requirements about whether the network connectivity is there or not. So there is a feature available to IBM MobileFirst called the qualities of offline. Now, when we build the offline capability within the app, we have to ensure that all the data is synchronized into the local application storage. The field engineer continues to work throughout or even he reaches to an internet zone or without the zone. Whenever he comes back to the connected zone, the data will be synchronized back automatically to the LOB system, and the person will get a experience. Now that way, and some companies are already worried about storing this data on device in case the device is lost or lost. As mentioned earlier, that Worklight ensures that offline data stored on the device is encrypted with AES 257, which is an encryption standard. So you need not have to worry about data being lost or going to any wrong hands.
Thank you, Manan. We have a question from Rohan, and I think Harish, you could probably light on it. He's saying we're a small organization with around 20 field technicians that would like to have a mobile app and implement it. I'm not very clear about why an organization like ours would need to implement a mobile app. Can you please tell us about this?
Okay. So as I told earlier, right question what you asked, whether depends on any stage of the organization, the requirement where your mobile platform is required. As I told earlier, so this is a platform which addresses lot of requirement for any organization, whether it is small or very big. Okay, so we have a couple of options. As I said earlier, you have an option where you don't use a platform, and you have to spend a lot of time in development of the application. Okay, so thing like you want to do something by complex device based on the location of the user, or maybe like sending some notification or other end of security standard. So those are requirements of any application. What will happen with MobileFirst platform? Then they have a lot of time in addressing all these requirements, and you can only concentrate on the business logic or business use case what you have to do. All other things like security transaction, location based or notification based requirement or platform will be. Okay. So you need not bother about all these standards. Need not worry only on your business case. So whatever scale of your organization, MobileFirst fits for it as a platform for your mobile app.
Thank you, Harish.
Okay. I can see a question coming from Sunil. Sunil, you want to know how you can display the customer-wise, zone-wise, region-wise sales data for an organization. Now, what you see for that, we have a separate application for the dashboard app. You see all the graphical representation of all the data that is available in the CR, because all this data that we are talking here is available in your CRM systems, where you have details of your customers and their location, zones, and also you will have all this data replicated. Now, this information will be available for other solutions that we have, and that can be easily viewed. We can arrange for a separate demonstration for you if you're interested for that.
Thank you. There's a question from Kamal. Kamal says, our service activities are subcontracted to the vendors. So how is your field service solution useful in such a situation?
Okay, I think in this case I will recall one of the recent implementation of the clients, which is a CNC manufacturing company. Now, we had a similar situation in the North India. Outsourced their services to another third-party company. So in that case, we had a dual layer of assignment as well as the delegation of the task. So first, the North Zone representative will be assigned to any of the service order that is coming from that area, and that person will in turn choose which particular third-party will be given the task to address, and it will be eventually assigned to the next level. That person will then take care of all the tasks. So you have an option to give this application third-party company as well. And if you don't want to distribute to them, you can still get the updates from them and update on the application that zonal representative has on the mobile device. So this will still cater to on this similar sort of process and use the same solution that we have demonstrated here.
Yeah, there's one last question that we can take up. There's a question from Amit that he says, the diagnosis is shown in our field engineers fill a long checklist for every service activity. How can we accommodate this?
Okay, that's another good one. I think fortunately, unfortunately, let me tell you, because I have got an example here that we have similar app we have shown here, shows customized for one of the other customers that we have. So let me just quickly show you. I just have a screenshot, and you can see the screenshot here. The same sort of app has been customized. So in this diagnosis section, you can see that there are different service code along with the description whether the task has been executed or not. So that level of detail has been captured on this particular screen. So the diagnosis and actions taken screen is highly customizable, and that will ensure that based on your needs, based on your form that needs to be filled, that customer has to be integrated in the solution, and that can be demonstrated here.
Thanks, Manan. That was the last question. With this, we come to the end of the presentation. Do visit our website www.indusa.com for more details on our service offerings. We thank you very much for your time today, and we look forward to having you view our other webinars as well. We would also like to hear your feedback on the webcast through our Twitter handle, Indusa IT Solutions. Please do that, and everyone have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good. Without any